Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is a little Father's Day interview with my father, Arthur Ellis. What I'm showing you here are his artwork, pictures of his artwork, pre and post sight loss. Here is the some pre-sight loss work, which I'll show you in detail very soon. And here is some post-sight loss artwork. We've got a special treat today. There is the man himself. Say hello.
Hello.
Hello. And later on in this periscope, you'll be able to ask questions. Ask him how he does it, why he does it, and things like that. We'll start over here with his pre-sight loss artwork. We're just on your pre-sight loss artwork at the moment. Okay? Yes, I'll be over to you in a second. Right, now, just take this off. This is pre-sight loss. You can see more at www.blindartist.co.uk. And here are the pictures that Arthur was producing before losing his sight. Here we go, all different pictures. And we've had all of these produced as postcards. And here is some of his artwork here. I have to get round to his right hand side because that's his good ear, so if you give me a second just to get round here. Just showing your pre-sight loss artwork at the moment.
Yes.
Yeah, people like Ray Charles, Jimi Hendrix.
All good stuff.
All good stuff, Eminem. When did you do most of these works of art?
When did I do them?
Yes.
Before 2006, so 2002 to 2006.
Okay. And there's a whole different selection here. There's some musicians. There's obviously Ray Charles there. You're a big fan of Ray Charles?
Pardon?
You're a big fan of Ray Charles?
Yeah, I love his music. I always have done since the 60s.
Yep. And you've got a few surreal
Sounds
pictures.
just as good now as it ever did about 45, 50 years ago.
Okay. Now you've got some surreal artwork here as well. What made you go down the surreal route?
What made me go down the surreal route?
Yes.
To give me presence of mind a lot of the time. It was a form of getting away from this representational, just purely representational stuff, because I was being commissioned to do a lot of portrait work, which, although was good for me technically, didn't help.
No.
In other ways.
Okay, now I've just shown everyone your pre-sight loss artwork. I'm now going to show your post-sight loss artwork. This is what a lot of people are very interested in. Your post-sight loss artwork, how you produce it, what you're trying to convey here. I was going to show the audience just a few of your pieces post-sight loss and remind them they can also go to www.blindartist.co.uk. Also go to the Facebook page, Arthur Ellis Blind Artist. So what we've got here, all your different pictures using different stencils and techniques. I wonder if you'd just like to tell the audience across the world how you do it. How do you do these fantastic works of art?
Well, it's been a complete and utter different learning curve, using all sorts of techniques, but a lot of it does relate back to what I did when I did have sight.
Yes,
because I used
over here.
A lot of techniques to build up colours and textures.
Yes.
And I still try to do them, perhaps using more economical means, such as thin, vari-coloured lines building up.
Yes.
Gradually.
We can see in this one here actually, there's all different colours and different pens.
A lot of it is purely intuition and memory of the way I used to draw and paint.
And how do you keep track of what you do? Do you, what sort of things do you use to draw straight lines? What do you use?
Well, I've got all sorts of stencils, specially made ones, or ones that I buy, or just things, anything, any object. But all that does is give me an idea of the perimeter of what I'm doing. What goes inside and outside of that is the important stuff.
Yes.
And that's where the real drawing technique comes into its own.
Yeah, I see, comparing your pre-sight loss, which is over here, I'm just comparing a fine black and white pen and ink drawing here, comparing that to what you've done over here. This one's called Friendly Heart, and this is one, again, this is with totally no sight at all. I think if you can just explain to the audience across the world about your sight. You haven't got any sight at all, is that correct?
I didn't quite catch
Yeah, so you haven't got any sight at all, is that correct?
No, that is correct.
Yes, so when you're drawing these images, what do you see? How do you visualise what's going on?
Purely through hearing. My hearing, unfortunately, is not brilliant. I've only got about a quarter of my hearing left.
Yes.
But a lot of it is partly to do with hallucinations I see. Since I've had this meningitis bug years ago, in 2006, I hallucinate. The worst hallucinations have gone, but there still is images thrown up in my mind.
Because that's a condition known as Charles Bonnet syndrome, is that right?
That's right, yeah.
Yes, and a lot of people with blindness, visual impairment suffer from Charles Bonnet syndrome. It's a very scary thing. It can be managed over time, and but I remember when you first had it, you felt like you were sat on the edge of a precipice. And
the point is, you can't just close your eyes and it disappears. It's always with you. So
yes.
If in the end, for instance, I've got confident with it and I can just use it to my advantage.
Yes.
And although it doesn't stay stagnate, it does keep moving and changing. It does give me a lot of inspiration, so in some ways I've turned it on its head and used it to my own good.
Yeah, you can see the different...
A lot of inspiration has come from it to produce the things I've done since I lost my sight.
Well, yeah, I'm going through them now, and every one is different. Every one, you know, in its own special way is completely different. I mean, going back to your sight loss artwork, over here we've got Jimi Hendrix, Tom Waits, Alice Cooper, and to name but a few, Mr. Eastwood, but Joss Stone. But this sight loss artwork is a whole new ball game, by the looks of it.
Is that what you're saying to me?
I am saying to you, yes.
It is. Well, it is a new ball game, but a lot of the things that I used to do are still in my memory, and for instance cross-hatching is still a thing I do, not quite as strictly neatly as I used to do it, but still with the same intensity and meaning the same thing.
Yes.
But I'm trying all different directions all the time. Just some of them I can repeat myself with, but everything seems to go in a different direction, or unless I'm following an idea through from one picture to the next, which quite often happens.
Yeah.
It's good to work through ideas.
There's two there. I'm just focusing now on Eclipse 1 and Eclipse 2, your two pictures. They're sort of like the reverse of each other, those two pictures. And here are some more of my favourites here. This is a very good one here. Well, I think that's enough for the time being, but thank you very much. Happy Father's Day to you.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
My son.
And yeah, people around the world, just if you want to know more about Arthur, go to www.blindartist.co.uk. So for there's his pre-sight loss artwork, as there he is, and there is his post-sight loss artwork. So thank you all for tuning in. Please do send him some messages. If you go to www.blindartist.co.uk, we do have a talking computer. Ta-da! And just quickly show you in the background the artwork on display, the originals of this work of art. A bit of a reflection there. Can't really show you too much, but they're all on the walls. There's Jimi Hendrix over there and Ray Charles. Okay, thank you very much, and goodbye.